Welcome to the Far Louder podcast, presented by the Fredericksburg Area Association of Realtors.
Welcome to our podcast, the Fredericksburg Area Association of Realtors Young Professionals Network. We are talking about the ignoring the why and focusing on the why. My name is Allison Graves. I am your 2022 chair, and the Young Professionals Network, we want to become a one-stop shop for the development of real estate sales professionals, those young in age, young at heart, or young in the business, through networking, education, community service, leadership development, and diversity and inclusion. For me, honestly, I'm not young or young in the business. I am 42 and have been in the business for 18 years, but my focus is the why. I love engaging with new members. I love networking with my peers, developing a rapport with the person that's sitting on the other side of the table. I found that valuable in my personal business, especially in this crazy market. Adarsh, what is the why for you for YPN?
Sure. Like Allison said, my name is Adarsh. I'm the recruitment director or manager for YPN. And what YPN means to me is similar to what Allison said, is the opportunity to network with individuals. I think it's people like, young at heart, young in the business. You get new ideas, fresh ideas about what's going on, especially the last 2 years. The market has changed. And so how to get on, kind of stay ahead of the curve. For instance, last 2 years, doing 3D tours or video tours has become really huge. So you get to collab with other agents and say, hey, how are you dealing with this situation here? And just another opportunity. It's very relaxed. You put in as much time as you think you can. It's not too strenuous per se, but it's, you get to be as involved as you'd like. And I think it's a great opportunity just to, kind of keep your finger on your pulse to see, what's the market like? What are other people experiencing? Are they experiencing the same thing I am? Did I mess up somewhere? Is that just industry? And it helps you become a better asset to your clients to be a part of a group that you can, get feedback from. So.
Wonderful. Thank you, Adarsh. And next we have Tamar.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tamar Myers-Moffitt, and I am your 2022 Vice Chair of YPN. And I think that YPN brings so much to the table for the newly licensed agent, the seasoned agent, or just someone who wants to sort of expand what they currently do into a role that could benefit not only themselves, but the agent community. One of my favorite things about YPN, of course, is the collaboration that we all were talking about, because very often in real estate, we are working, individually or independently with our clients, or we kind of mingle with, realtors in our brokerage. But it's so nice to sort of cross-pollinate with realtors from other brokerages, our vendors and partners, where we can work collaboratively on community outreach ideas, education, and it just makes us more of well-rounded realtors and people as a whole. I've learned so much as vice chair, and it's the out-of-the-box thinking, the brainstorming sessions I've had with the team that I'm able to bring to my clients, talk to other realtors about how we can contribute to the local real estate association, state level, and then also ultimately the National Association of Realtors. And that's the other really cool thing about YPN, is that we are a group that's affiliated with the national level of YPN. And when you get to meet members from all over the country and see the kinds of things that are working in their respective states, it makes it easier to come up with ideas. It makes it fun and exciting, and I don't know, it's just a breath of fresh air, in my opinion, to realtors. So if you want to get started right, this would be perfect to just begin to cast the wide net, so to speak, in your real estate career.
I couldn't agree more, Tamar. And I think that segues into our next question well about why new members should join. YPN is here to help you thrive in your real estate career by giving you the tools and encouragement to become involved. And involved agents will be more successful agents. We want you to get involved, like Tamar said, with the realtor associations. We have opportunities to attend realtor conferences. We provide leadership development. We want you to get involved with the association at your local, state, and national level. We want you to get involved in the industry. We want you to take an active role in policy discussions and advocacy issues that affect our industry. Be informed about the latest news and trends. And it's also important to know who your peers are, to network and learn from others. We offer this with events, education, online communication, and mentoring opportunities. Like Tamar said, it makes us better at our jobs. And Adarsh, we're going to talk about collaboration a lot, because even though we all are at competing brokerages, we collaborate with each other. There's a synergy that happens from we want to support each other, and we want everyone to be their best and to succeed. And so you can feel that with the Young Professionals Network, and it is contagious. And it's pretty exciting. So in addition, we want everyone to be great members of the community. Become an exceptional member of your community by demonstrating a high level of the realtor professionalism and volunteering for causes that you feel passionate about. We do that through the network, through some of our events and give backs. We support teachers and classrooms, community heroes, and it just makes you a much well-rounded, better individual at the end of the day, as far as my personal opinion goes.
Wow, it sounds like you've really gained a lot from YPN, Allison.
I have, and I'm not sure that I would have necessarily known that coming in, that I just knew that you guys, YPN, had some great events and offered some great education, and I wanted to learn more. And then once I started learning more and getting involved with everyone, it just made sense to get more involved and meet some great people along the way. And I'm excited to work with you all as your 2022 chair.
Yeah, Allison, and I agree with you. Getting started with YPN was such a great segue for me to firstly meet the executive leadership team at FAAR. And it was so interesting to, sit on the board and understand some of the topics that came up at hand. And that, of course, makes me a better realtor, because we are understanding on a macro level what's happening within the realtor community. It's like you kind of get to fill up your tank as a realtor, right? And again, you're meeting with so many smart and dedicated people in these groups. It just, like you said, the synergy there is just incredible, and it fills me up. It makes me feel powered up and charged up when I go out and I meet with my clients. I'm talking with other realtors, and it's just a great segue, I would say, into leadership with the Realtor Association. And I think that's one of the things that is undeniable about YPN, because here you are working in a network that's, proactively focusing on diversity and inclusion, proactively learning and supporting RPAC. That was one of the biggest takeaways I had gotten when I got started with YPN, sort of demystifying RPAC. What does that mean? How many people were contributors, and how my own dollars could help support the initiative of RPAC. And, and it just continues to build and grow. And then with the education team, Adarsh and I, we were working on, some of those classes, and we were deliberately, not trying to have topics that coincided with, post-licensing education or continuing education. We wanted to have classes that were meaningful, that people could take away with, but weren't as structured from a licensing perspective. So, let's talk about who were the big players, the rock stars of last year. Let's pick their brain. Let's get in front of them. Let's, in this little sandbox that we have, let's unpack, some of the things that you did that garnered so much success in the previous year. Tangible things YPN gets to do. We have creative license, right? We get to do these things because we're young in the business, young in age and young at heart. That's why we can, be at a variety of different ages and come up with things that make us unique, even from other networks at FAAR. We are kind of like that group. Some of those social events that we have, other networks probably wouldn't lean towards some of the ways we as realtors grow our team, and that is what I really like about YPN. And again, to see that across the country, that kind of excitement, it's really nice and it's refreshing as a realtor.
It is refreshing. And I think especially in this market, this market is crazy. It's fast paced, high demand, and it's leading to a lot of burnout in the industry, honestly, because it is so fast paced. And so, YPN is also good for seasoned agents because you can come together and you can, collaborate and talk about successes and failures and know that you're not alone. Like, it's okay that you just lost that deal, because guess what? You were competing against 20 other people and 19 other people did too. So, but it can be hard. And sometimes, it can be very defeating as a buyer's agent to lose out on deals for your clients. It can be hard for them, hard for you. It can be very emotional. And so one thing that I've found as benefit from YPN is just coming together with my peers in the industry, collaborating, sharing our stories, sharing our successes, sharing our failures, and figuring out what we need to do different. We offered a work-life balance podcast last year, a panel, because we're all so overwhelmed in the business and trying to wear so many different hats and be everything to everyone. And a lot of times that takes away from ourselves. And so we certainly recognize that, and we want to offer our members opportunities and ways to cope and find healthy ways to deal with the stress that can come in a very fast-paced industry. So, I think I get a lot of times people will say, well, I've been in the business and sure, you network, but I don't want to network with my competition. I want to network with people that are going to make me money. And I say, valid point. But at the same time, I want to know who's sitting across from me on the table. I want to know, especially when you are in this environment and that you have options and choices, I want to know that the people that are bringing me these choices are going to get it done. And so there's something to be said for having a rapport or a relationship with the other party, and just knowing that they're going to get it done. And a lot of times when you're in this multiple offer situation and sellers are looking for any way to figure out what's the best deal, what's the best offer, when they're all amazing, it comes down to the ability to get it done. And a lot of times that will be the realtor, the lender, the title, all of these tools that we have in our toolbox and have developed fantastic rapport and relationships with, so that when there is news in the industry, we can talk it through and collaborate and have great constructive discussions. And so for seasoned agents, I say, we want you too. Come on in. We can learn from you. We want you to get involved on the association level. We want you to get involved with the network. We want you, you are a valuable member of the association, and we want you a part of it.
Yeah, definitely to piggyback off Allison, it was kind of at least from my experience of joining in, Fredericksburg is a big area, but when I came to YPN, I realized that it's like a large community and a small community. There's a lot of times I've been in a transaction and I don't know the other agent, but we know somebody, we have like a mutual friend or something. And that's because of YPN, where I got to meet them, or they came by one time and it's like, oh, you know that person? Oh, I know them too. Isn't that awesome? Or somehow related to the association. And myself, I wouldn't have gotten to even have that kind of mutual friend if it wasn't for joining YPN. So it helps, being the new agent coming in and getting to meet those peoples, meeting the affiliates, getting to provide different resources to your clients. But yeah, networking, we just say over and over and over again. It's the bread and butter of the industry. And I believe has been for a long time. I just started, but it's what I've been constantly hearing. And being one of those newer agents, I do appreciate having seasoned agents like Allison, like Tamar, a couple other people on YPN to get information from. Right now is a crazy time in the market, but there was a time called 2008 when it was completely wiped, especially our area, with just the way the housing prices and jobs and things like that. So what do you learn? How do you deal with not only in the business, but how do you protect yourself financially to say when there are downtimes in the industry, what can you do? How can you be proactive versus reactive? So, and that all comes with experience in dealing with, trial by fire kind of thing from those experienced agents. So one thing, why I would like to have, 8 people in the industry for a long time come in. I love history. So I would love to get, your experience on what's going on, whether you are an agent, it's open to any affiliate. So if you're a lender or a home inspector or something like that, part of my job is construction. So I'm in the field and I'm getting to learn different codes, how things are built. So if there's a home inspector that saw a difference in how building codes have changed, what used to be approved and what's not approved. And it all just bundles together and it's just constantly learning. I mean, just how much can you absorb from people? And I think having those seasoned agents or seasoned anyone per se as part of YPN would be helpful, I think, to the newer guys. And that's a way you could give back per se, just providing your experience, because I'm sure everyone has a unique story, how they got in, different experiences they had. And if it can help one other person, I think, with limited time commitment, it could be worth your while.
If you want to know more,
how cool is that? So sorry, Lauren.
No, you can go ahead, Tamar.
I was just going to say, and how cool is that? So now because Adarsh and I work together, I can call him and get insights about construction. He knows about codes, and absent of a group like YPN, I wouldn't have known him and I wouldn't have had anyone to call. And that is just like an example. I just wanted to jump in because that was one of the first things I said to Adarsh when we met at one of our mixes, like, oh, okay, yeah, I've been trying to, talk to one of the agents that you work with. He's like, well, you know what? You know me, and you can call me anytime and I can be that resource for you. And again, it's just another example of one of the benefits of working with the team.
Couldn't agree more. It's about the connection, connecting people to each other, developing the network. Real estate is about your network, and you need to have a good team. You need to have all your tools in the toolbox for whatever challenge, whatever day throws at you, because they're always going to be different. But when you have such a wide group that you can pull from, it just makes it seem that much better. Talking about connection for agents, we have a lot of partners. We have lender partners, we have home inspection partners, title partners, we have transaction coordinator partners. I mean, if you need resources, we want to be a neutral place for you to come and get those resources. It can be very overwhelming to be in the business sometimes. And if we can make it a one-stop shop for you for networking, education, leadership opportunities, it just, we want our fellow realtor members to succeed. And then doing that, we succeed and just become better, more comprehensive, well-rounded realtors and members of our community. And for me personally, YPN has helped me in the business just by that personal connection. In the past quarter, in this crazy market, I have personally won deals because of the rapport with the listing agent. And then I have even lost a deal because the lack thereof. And I feel very strongly that if that broker wasn't in West Palm Beach, Florida, I might have had a better opportunity. And but it's just amazing, and it just gives you a level of comfort knowing that the people on the other side of the transaction are capable of doing the deal and getting it done. And if there are issues, because issues arise all the time, you know how to get them. You can pick up the phone and call them and work it out. And that's amazing.
Yeah, especially one of those, in the case of something recent where we had the title change, where you can have seller sided only, has to be one group. They're still figuring it out with the the Bureau of Insurance, but by chance, if you are in YPN or, I guess you could say any organization in FAAR, if maybe a representative from that title company is there introducing themselves, you might be more comfortable if the buyer decides, hey, I want to use this title company. I'm not, we're going to go with what the buyer says, and the seller, for the most part, would have to go with them. So you as an agent can say, hey, I've dealt with this title company before. I have experience with this person. We never used them. So we will go ahead and, I think we can make this work. It won't be too bad dealing with someone we don't know before, but we know about. Especially if they're coming to these events, they represent their company, they want to represent it well. They're taking the effort to get to know other people. So you can, see that this company is making an effort to, provide the best service they can. So, how does it help the business? Again, constantly adapting, getting to meet people, know people, especially me. Like, I grew up in Stafford my whole life. And only when I joined, real estate and coming to these events did I realize how much there is actually here, especially in downtown. I usually, are not exploring past, Southern Stafford or 17. So you get to see different spots, Orange County, King George areas. I know we do the Wilderness Run events, stuff like that. So you get to go out to places you typically wouldn't, and just maybe bring your family there. I don't know. It's like constant being able to use some of these things you go to as opportunities to do other things. And we're stressing all throughout, all three of us, network, get to know what's out there, become a better resource for your clients and your business. I'm sure your business will follow. I'm still young in it, so I can't guarantee anything like that, but I'm sure Allison with her experiences realized that, and Tamar, that, the more people the better off you will be.
It's all about your sphere. That was
What can
great.
we expect to see from YPN later on this year?
Well, we've got some great education on the books. We've got some great events. Our signature event is a pub crawl in the fall. That will be coming up. So we'll post all of our events and education online for members to engage and sign up. Our next meeting, they can certainly come to our meetings. Our next meeting is March 9th, and that will be at the Realtor Association. And we'll have an education component to that meeting as well, so that you can get some networking and education and maybe some breakfast.
That sounds awesome. Well, thank you guys for your time today. Your enthusiasm is infectious, and it's going to be a great year for YPN.
Woo!
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's gonna be a great year. Thank you. Bye-bye.